Honestly, yeah, if I'm reacting like this, doing this stupid celebration at 3 a.m. in the morning, after a friendly game against Wrexham, for God's sake, I'm risking the wrath of my neighbours right now, then my friends, that only means that I have just watched a pre-season game of football. And I'm saying this right now, I am instantly seeing a Pochettino imprint on this team. My lord, I'm seeing things I haven't seen in God knows how many years. I'm seeing a compact team. I'm seeing players passing and moving the ball. I'm seeing players interchanging positions, for God's sake. If guys are moving infield, man are moving out to the wide positions. I'm seeing strikers dropping deep, allowing the wingers moving behind. I'm seeing rotations, my guys. I'm seeing one-touch football. Thinking, my God, I know it's Wrexham, but it's the manner of this performance. It's the manner in which we're creating opportunities and chances in this game, and it's the abundance, it's the variety. Bro, I'm seeing football. I'm actually seeing football, and I'm excited. I'm excited, my guys. Now, of course, it's only flipping Wrexham. They didn't give us the best tests, but still, I remember last preseason. I remember the nightmare that last preseason was. And already I am seeing a team that is fully on board with Pochettino's ideas. I'm seeing a team that's got intensity. I'm seeing a team with mentality as well too. And I'm seeing a team that's having fun. I mean, 5-0 is a very fair scoreline to actually think about. And honestly, I'm so happy that I stayed up at God knows whatever time it is right now, watching this game, and I feel like it was definitely worth the wait. Well, my friends, there's actually so much to break down in this video today. Some great performances, some young guys that really made me pay great attention in this game today. I'm looking at you, Mr. Cassidy, yeah? I'm looking at you, yeah? Because this guy today, I think someone in my chat on my stream said he's like the bruschetta Ballack, and I see it because, wow, this guy in midfield, he made a flipping impact. Cassidy in midfield playing that box-to-box role. Like, I've been tired of seeing pivot this, reduce to that, deep line, playmaker, whatever, bro. I don't want to see that. I've got box-to-box mids with talents. And remember, I feel like this fan base forgot what a box-to-box mid is supposed to do, yeah? But Cassidy, yeah, gave us a great show and a reminder of what that role means and why it's so important. Because in a team, Pochettino's fluid, dynamic team with tons of interchanging, you need to have dynamic midfield players that complement playing this way. I mean, Cassidy today was involved in the build-up. Like, we saw Pochettino creating that box structure, right? 2 centre-backs, 2 midfield players in the pivot, creating that box structure to help us play out from the back. And of course, the full-backs hugging the touchline, saying high and wide. Cassidy's there being the supporting runner. Cassidy's there being the third man option to pass from. He's helping us play out from the back. He's supporting attacks. He's making underlapping runs. He is driving through midfield. Like, on 3 occasions, he went on a long busting run, taking out 2-3 man by himself. My God, was it exciting to see. And I kind of feel like, have we got our Loftus-Cheek replacement now? Do we actually have that? I mean, bro, that assist he made for Nkunku, Mr. Crystal at the end, playing that with his left foot. He is not afraid to do that. And it kind of reminds me why Cassidy was even signed to begin with, because when Todd Bowley took over this football club, he gave Mr. Neil Bath, club legend himself, a blank check to buy talents he thought we definitely have to sign. And he instantly signed us Cassidy, and I can see why. Now, we need to pay attention to what we do with this kid, because he played 90 minutes today. He played the full game, and I'm sure that really impressed Pochettino. I'm thinking to myself, does this kid need a loan? Like, we'll assess him in other games first, but what an impression and introduction that Cassidy made. We have to discuss another player that was on the spotlight today, and that's Ian Matsen. I mean, bro, this guy was playing left wing today. And some of you guys might be a bit confused, you know, why am I seeing a left wing back playing further up? Well, during his days at Cobham, because we produce European level centre backs and full backs too, we like to encourage these guys to be comfortable playing left back, left mid, left wing back, left wing, even midfield, even attacking mid as well too. Like, for big clubs that have fullbacks, mostly for your big club, you're keeping possession against the opposition, right? So you need to have fullbacks that are essentially like midfield players that can do more. And I think Ian Maatsen is testament to that philosophy, because he got 2 goals today. The first goal, sick play from Mr. Nicholas Jackson. I'll discuss him and then Nkunku later on, so you guys don't go nowhere right now, yeah? But just his intelligence to understand how to find himself free in the box then. And even the second goal he scored too. How often did we see Matsen inverting into midfield? That 1-2 with Chukwuemeka and a perfectly timed first time shot going to the bottom right corner of the net. I mean, bro, I feel like Matsen is another guy that should get opportunities for next season. I feel like Pochettino, we saw how high and wide those fullbacks were. We need guys who are technically proficient, that bring that attacking threat. And Matsen got 10 goals and assists last season for Burnley. Like, you're not doing that if you're mid, yeah? And I feel like we're going to need that type of attacking capability for our team for next season. And I'm hoping that Pochettino really looked at what Matsen did today, because this guy is another talent. And in my opinion, he stays in the squads. But anyway, to continue on, we saw 2 different lineups essentially. Well, I think we did. So I think the first half was a 4-2-3-1, and I think the second half was a 4-3-3, right? And I say this because the build-up structure in the second half was a bit different. In the first half, it was more like 2+2, or was it 2+4? And in the second half, it was more like 3+1, with like Andre Santos or like Gallagher or Lewis Hall being that midfield player that's in behind the press of the opposition, to of course receive passes from the 3 centre-backs. So I'm liking the interchangeability of the formation, and I like that the players already kind of understand, okay, I can drift from one side to the other. Like, I'll give you an example. In the second half, I flipping saw Angelo Gabriel, who had a very, very nice performance in that second half. I mean, bro was unlucky not to get at least 2 assists in the game today. Raheem Sterling, I think you could have done a lot better with that perfectly weighted far post cross at the end of that flowing attack that came from Angelo Gabriel. But there was one occasion, go back to my point, where he was literally on the right hand side and then he was all the way down to the left hand side. And I was thinking to myself, I've not seen any players allowed to do this stuff in like, 4 years or even longer, bro. Even longer than that. Like, we have not allowed that type of positional fluidity to happen in the game like that. And I really feel like these principles are core principles that really supports Pochettino's football. And I feel that there's one player in particular that will benefit the most from this. My guy, I have to talk about Nkunku. I mean, today I wanted to see Nkunku get on that score sheet and score a goal. And I feel like he was going to do that. And even the way he took his goal. As a fan base, we've seen many a man get in these 1v1 situations and constantly fail, constantly flop. They don't have the minerals to make something from that. But Nkunku, his bread and butter is taking advantage of 1v1 situations. Like, you see his movements, he even like start the attack and then go in the end of the move. As I said, perfect pass from Cassidy with his left foot. And then he easily rounds the keeper. And then he has the spatial awareness and technique to realize, listen, I can't just tap it in right now. I need to generate some power. So he gets his body over the ball, hits it really hard, back of the net, and that made it 4-0. But what really impressed me about Nkunku is the freedom that Pochettino is allowing him to have. Because as I keep stressing, if you give Nkunku that whole left channel to have the freedom to do whatever he wants, then you'll see what this guy can really do. There was times when he was the left winger, and when that happened, you would either see like Raheem Sterling move up front, or you'd see Cassidy moving up front. And it's like, bro, if you want to break down teams that love to sit back, defend, and do all that boring stuff, don't make their lives easy by being so predictable to really understand, okay, where the ball's going to move next. We've been shit at that for a very long time, and I feel like Pochettino just introducing a more fluid, dynamic attacking game. Yo, I like it. I like it. I think that when you've got guys like Nkunku and all these guys that can comfortably play in different zones and areas of the field, why have we not done this before? I know why. We never had Pochettino. So Nkunku, there's a lot more to come from this guy, yeah? But of course, to follow on to another new signing, Nicholas Jackson's first half performance. I did feel like it was very impressive, to be fair. But he wasn't always perfect with what he did. But I think one thing that he immediately showed us is that he's got a little bit of this Alexander Isak to his game, right? Where when he receives the ball, he's not looking clumsy. He's not looking like he's going to fall over himself. He can take his man on And there was a lot of times where we really benefited from Jackson coming deeper to be that passing option for the team, right? And when he did that, that encouraged movement. That encouraged Matsen to move in behind. That encouraged Diego Moreira to try and do something in that first half and behind as well too. And again, it just really just goes to fully support what Pochettino is all about when it comes to his attacking football. So I think Jackson showed me that there's a lot more to come from him. And I think for the next game versus Brighton, I would like to see Jackson and Nkunku playing together. I think with that type of link up and skill up front, that would give Brighton's defence a lot to think about. So I thought this guy was actually good today. But I guess for me, we saw two different lineups essentially. The first half had your Andre Santoses, Gustos, and I thought these guys were also very good. I think Santos is going to be that Cassidy. Hopefully Cassidy signs, but he'll be that backup to Cassidy. And I think this guy will be a very promising one. And I like Malo Gusto. Maybe a few times he let a counter attacking behind him. But in terms of technique on the ball, receiving, his ability to move, infields, do the overlap as well too, and his carrying abilities too. I'm really liking that, and it supports the ideas that Pochettino needs. I need fullbacks that aren't afraid to get forward, that aren't afraid to take the attack on. If there's space, can you attack it and do something positive for the team? I really like that. And yeah, I'm just really feeling very happy with the performances I saw today, with the understanding of the players playing in the system, with the new ideas I immediately saw. This was like a brand new looking Chelsea team in terms of how we're attacking and how we're breaking teams down, how we're moving the ball. I mean, bro, you've seen the overloads that we're seeing on the left-hand side and right-hand side. And this is what I mean about the compactness that Pochettino is introducing to this team. If you look at the distance between maybe the centre-back and the striker, it's not massive. Like, it's compact. There's maybe like 50 yards between them. And between all that striker and defensive space, Pochettino is encouraging movement and overloads. I mean, you look on the left-hand side, you would see at least 5 players close to each other looking to combine. And if we can't find any openings down one flank, we have the pivot that allows us to play balls to the opposite flank and create an overload there. And to break teams down, if you want to see creativity and all that stuff that fans have been complaining about for a long time, you must move your opposition team's defensive shape. You have to move them left to right. And that's because if the opposition is forced to cover lateral spaces very quickly from left to right, eventually someone isn't in position, and eventually you create an overload, and that's how you take advantage. And it's just like, this is the type of football I've wanted to flip in and see out this football club for God knows how long. And I can't believe I'm getting a bit of a taster now against Wrexham. But regardless of the opposition we're playing against, the way we move the ball, this is new stuff right here. Look at the wide threat, bro. I mean, we saw Matsen get a goal. We saw Ben get a goal. That's 3 guys down the flanks getting goals. There was times when we're seeing our wingers getting 1v1 against their man. Like, I've seen Matoma and all these man constantly benefit from these opportunities. We saw what Angelo Gabriel did when he was cutting inside with his left foot. I don't think he'll stay with us, but he looks promising. And I think Strasbourg fans, we're giving you guys some sick players, yeah, so be a bit grateful. But I'm thinking, bro, imagine when Mudryk comes on, and now we're making spaces like this for Mudryk, where my guy will even have an overlapping supportive run to, and he's going to have guys near him. He ain't going to be receiving back to goal. 2 guys on him, and then there's no way to pass forwards. When Enzo Fernandez comes in midfield, my God. Like, when I see Reece James too, when I see Levi Colwell's passing distribution out from the back when he starts playing, wow, it's exciting. And I'm not here to gas it like we're going to win the league, we're going to be clear. But bro, this is a nice little taster of life to come under Mauricio Pochettino, and I feel like this club has most definitely hired the right guy, because this was no joke football. This is some flipping serious football we saw today. And I just love how quickly this team just is fully bought into it. And it makes sense because it complements these guys. Yeah, I am excited for Sunday. I'm excited for every single preseason game. And I think I'm excited for this season now after this performance. So yeah, share your thoughts and opinions. How did you feel about this game? Who are the players that stood out to you? And what else are you expected to see, my guys? So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. I'm EFC. This is Blue Lions TV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos. Cool.